if a blue collar, middle class, Jersey Philly girl can find her way out of a scarce mindset, build a business, raise heart-centered, grateful kids, and model that to the world, you can do anything that you set your mind to. You just have to have a burning desire and passion to pursue the thing that lights you up. Shine light on the world and give your gifts to the world that they're waiting for. Don't wait, just do it.
Kill Complacency, a podcast that inspires growth and intentionality and helps you overcome your greatest obstacles.
Talk to me about those early days, Maureen, when you stopped what you know was working. You were good at sales, and you're in the midst of this divorce. You've got kids. What kind of doubts did you have to overcome? What were the voices in your head? I can imagine like we see the success today, right? But how hard was it, and how did you overcome that? Was it just Tony Robbins?
I've got a few good stories for you, Marty, and your listeners. Okay. So in the very beginning, I will say this. So when I joined Spartan Invest in, it was late 2012, early 2013. Now I came from a corporate background that had a lot of money, that's like you could entertain clients and doctors, big marketing budget, big entertainment budget. So I could take people, doctors skiing or to Lakers games or out to dinner. And when I was hired, Clayton was like, yeah, well, sorry, we don't have a buyer's list. We don't have a marketing budget. So all the things that you were just telling me that you wanted to do as far as entertaining clients and telling them about and hosting events and telling them about our business, that it does not exist yet. I'm like, oh, okay. So had to get creative. It was literally, I love it today because people we've got a lead generation system. We've got a lot of people calling us, but in 2013, nobody knew who we were. So it was just me as the salesperson. And I remember Clayton at one point, I don't remember what quarter it was, but it was early on. And he said, Maureen, if we don't close 10 properties this quarter, we're probably going to have to close the company down. And I remember looking at him, I was on the phone with him and I just said, I got it. Clayton, I got you. No worries. Clayton, Lindsay, I'll take care of it. No problem. Hung up the phone and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have no idea. Right. But just like I said to you earlier when we were talking before, I think we were recording, I just said, you know what? Nobody wakes up every morning and goes, you know what? I'm going to make my life really hard today and to challenge myself just to see what I'm made of. And when he said that to me, I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to let, and there was only four of us. It was the four employees at the time were Clayton, Lindsay, myself, and our admin. And I value my relationship so much with Clayton and Lindsay that I just could not face disappointing them. So I wound up, I did that. I did an event. I wound up selling some houses. I got 9 closed, not 10. So I didn't quite hit the goal. But that was one of the first challenging moments. The second one, I would say, because, it's nice to be here and I'm sitting in my nice office on the top of the hill with views of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Right. But that wasn't like that when I started. And one of the most humbling moments I had was I had racked up, because when I started with Spartan, it was commission only. And when I left the pharmaceutical world, it was, the company car, the 6-figure salary, everything was just the corporate credit card. There was a lot of perks. And then I went from that to just commission only sales, which were very slow in the very beginning. And so I used my credit card a lot to just pay for expenses, helping to raise my kids and feed my kids. And so I have this moment where I'm at Target and I am getting groceries for my kids, and I had two different checking accounts at the time. And I knew I only had some money in there, not a lot, but I had racked up like $40,000, $50,000 in credit card bills, just paying for expenses, monthly expenses. And I went to go run my debit card at Target for the groceries, and it was declined. I'm like, well, that's weird because I know I have some money in there. And so I embarrassed, but I took out the other debit card, swiped that. That one was declined.
Mm.
And I'm like, so I had to leave all the groceries there, go home. And I went online to my bank, and I had what's called a tax levy. And all of my accounts, which was not much money in there, but when you guys like um, submit if you want to get a tax refund from the IRS, they have all your banking information. So if money can come out of that account um, and go in that account, they actually have had access to come and usurp all of your funds out of the account. And what had happened was is I was on a payment plan because I couldn't afford to pay my full tax bill. So I was on a payment plan. I had several. I learned this: don't use your debit card at a gas station because that debit card transaction hangs out longer than a credit card transaction does. So somehow my information was stolen 4 times. And as a busy, working, stressed trying to build this company, from the ground up, I was a little mindless. And when I had changed those debit cards multiple times, I had forgot to let the IRS know that the debit card that I had on file where they could debit the monthly payments from, was no longer valid. And so I got the bank levy. They took or the tax levy. They took all the money. I had to call my business partner, Clayton, and ask him to borrow $10,000 because I didn't have any money to pay any monthly bills or even to feed my kids.
Wow. So I'm not sure why my camera's gone. You can't see me, can you?
I can't, but that's okay. We can keep talking. I'm looking at a little X. So
I'm very
X
distracted right now. I think though that, that's what makes us, the thesis being handle hard better, helping people handle hard better.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, like handle hard better. Like you said, you don't wake up to make your life hard one day, but when hard happens, you really find out what you're made out of. Like, do you have the grit, the fortitude, the perseverance to continue on, even when, you are feeling so overwhelmed and scared, and even, a little beat up emotionally, spiritually. But I had 3 kids relying on me. I had business partners relying on me, and I knew what we had was good. It was just a matter of never giving up, and getting creative on finding ways where I could, create more sales, get the word out to others because we had such a good product, such a good system, and it was that grit. Like I think there was some TED talk about the girl. There was a gal talking about what makes people successful. It's not your intelligence level, right? It's not the economic class you've been born into. It's the amount of grit that you have to get through the hard.
The hardships we encounter make us better. The grit, and that's character, right?
Yeah.
Maybe let me ask you this: if you know that, how old are your kids?
They are now 18, 17, and 15, all about to turn between this month and the end of the year.
Okay. If you know that handling hard makes them better, are you trying to incorporate that into parenting?
Yes. So I have I have the mindset that the I think a lot of problems in the world, honestly, especially with just broken people,
Mhm.
is that growing up, they were never meant to feel seen
Mm.
or heard, meant to feel worthy or enough, and that they matter. And so I think if I could screw up in every other area, right? But if I am present, I make them feel seen, heard, loved, valued, and appreciated, and they know that they are worthy and they're enough. Um, then anything else that I messed up on
Yeah.
is going to be okay. And I think anything hard that comes into their lives, I think they have a really solid foundation
Mhm.
because they're not broken because they got those needs met
Mhm.
from me when they were younger. And that's why when I was, it was a decision that I made and long ago when they were 3, 2, and 2 months old. That's when I had decided that I was kicking the husband to the curb. And that's a whole nother Maury Povich,
Yeah.
Jerry Springer episode, which I won't regale you with all of that fun stuff. But if you know if you know those shows, and your listeners can probably figure out what happened. um, and so I knew at that point, when you have kids, when you become a parent, you want to become the best version of yourself because kids model what they see.
Mhm.
They model their parents. And I knew I had to become a better version of myself
Mm.
so that I could model that to them. And they've seen hard. I remember my middle daughter, Charlie, because when they were that young, I was, um, you know, I, one, taking care of them in between working, and then I would, they would go to Montessori school, and I'd have to, you know, drop them off, work, pick them up, feed them, get them bathed, work, and I would do that. My hours sometimes were nuts. I was sometimes up at 4 or 5 in the
Mhm.
morning, getting stuff done, getting them ready, working in between drop off and pick up, put them to bed, and then sometimes I worked till 2, 3 in the morning and get up at 6 or whatever. And that was for years. And I remember why one day Charlie said to me, she's like, "Mom, you don't do all those crazy hours anymore. Why not?" And I
Mm.
said, "Well, that's what I needed to do in order to take care of you, build the business, um, and get us to where we needed to be." So I've demonstrated hard
Yeah. More is caught
to
than
them.
taught. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've absorbed it, I think, just for observation. So I don't really make life hard on them. It's just although I'm very, as a parent, I've learned you have to implement the consequence. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Um,
Yes.
and just a funny story. I think this is why they've been so good. They've been good kids, even teenagers. Um, Quick story, driving in the car with my sister, 3 small kids in the back. My daughter Charlie is the rebellious one. She's apple tree. We're very similar. And if she had this little toy, it was like kind of that little rubber hand attached to like a
Yeah, yeah.
string. And if you flick it, it's the things, right? Now she's in the back of the car and she keeps flicking it in the front of the car and it's distracting. And I turned to her and I said, "If you do that again, I am throwing that out." And so there she does it again. I literally grabbed it, rolled down the window, and threw it out the window. And they were like, "Mom, we can't believe you did that. You littered." I was like, "Oh, don't try to turn it back on me." I'm like, "I told you what the consequence was if you were going to do that." And I did it. So I think ever since that moment when they were really young, I mean what I say.
Mhm.
And they've really actually been like, ever since, they've just been cool. So, you know.
My wife has a similar story. She had a favorite stuffed animal as a kid,
Mhm.
and my son Ezekiel, when he was maybe 2, he loved to open up the window and throw his toys out.
Oh.
And she told him, "If you throw anything else out there, we're getting rid of it." And he threw her toy out.
No, bye-bye toy.
Yep, that's what she
Yeah.
did.
They
So,
need to know you're serious about what you say
yeah.
and not be wishy-washy. And really, I think I really just tie it back because they're very good kids. And I also led by saying this, you have my trust. It's given.
Mhm.
But if you do anything to betray my trust, like lie, steal, do anything that is, I guess, follow the 10 commandments kind of thing. I've got a faithful background. If you do any of those things, there will be consequences and they will be harsh. And life as it today, as fun as it is, will be vastly different. Um, and so I don't know. Maybe they just saw how hard I worked as a single divorced mom
Mm.
for them. And you know what? And I have to say, like, one of the I just like my if your heart could burst open and confetti could just fly out of it, it would have been something my soon to be 15-year-old said to me within the last few weeks. He said, "Mom," he goes, "Can I job shadow you? I want to listen to your
Mm.
calls and start learning your business." And I turned to him and I said, "Well, why do you want to do that?" I'm like, "I love it. Yes, I welcome it. Why do you want to do that?" He goes, "Well, Mom, I see where we live." And he goes, compared to where
Yeah.
his dad lives, he goes, "I see where we live and this is a better life." I was like, "Oh my God." So a lot of times what you model,
Yes.
you becoming the better version of yourself, leaning into the hard, killing the complacency, not making excuses. Divorce is hard on everybody. It's not
Mhm.
something that I would ever wish anyone to go through. And nor do you go into marriage thinking this is going to be the outcome. But when the hard shows up, you either have you spiral up or you spiral
Yeah.
down. And one of the things that I heard, I think it was Richard Branson said this, he's like, jump and build the airplane on the way down.
Mm.
And I think that they saw, my three kids, Elle, Cassius, and Charlie, they saw me jump and build the airplane on the way down, even when you don't have a parachute, you don't have a safety net, you don't really know where you're going. But man, the only option that you have is to try
Yeah.
and not give up.
Yeah. No, and that's good. I think that it's really good. Like so many times we're afraid to even try, and we just stay in the easy, the comfort, and we never do anything different with our life because we don't want the discomfort.
Yeah, and the Tony Robbins taught me a lot of things. Um, the everything that you want is on the other side of everything that you fear. And
Mhm.
it's actually, fear is really, it's just a construct. And uh for them, I think, for at least for my kids and even for my investors, I talk to them too because excuse me, I've had people that I've talked to, Marty, they're like, "I've been studying research for 5 years. Have you bought anything?" No.
Yeah.
And I know that it's the fear of losing money, the
Mhm.
fear of being successful, the fear of failure. And I'm like, you don't know if any of that is going to be true unless you actually try it on.
Yeah.
Like, just try it. Whatever it is. Public speaking is scary for people. Buying real estate across state lines, sight unseen with people you don't really know. It's fearful. I actually
Mhm.
address that in the conversations with investors right up front. Like, what scares you about investing in real estate? And I don't want to lose money. I don't want to pick the wrong market. I don't want to piss off my spouse because I'm leading this and they're
Yeah.
they're poo pooing this idea. And I get all that. And a lot of times I just walk them through the mindset of scarcity thinking and abundance thinking. And if I didn't go through that myself, that tug of war of
Mhm.
you know I can't do it. I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough education. Versus just doing it. And guess what? Jump and build the airplane on the way down. You're gonna find the education. You're gonna find the research. You're gonna find the people that are gonna help you get to where you need to go. But you just have to
That's
take
powerful.
the risk.
Yeah.
You have to.
Okay, I want to switch this a little bit
Sure.
because we've kind of talked about your story on doing the hard. you guys are really successful now.
Yeah.
Spartan Investing. Been growing. How do you stay grounded and connected to your why now that you have success?
Oh, it's so easy. What a great question. Because when you think about the legacy that you want to leave, now selfishly, it started when I first started, because I've always wanted to be a business owner, and Clayton and Lindsay kind of did all the heavy lifting first, and then I just sort of jumped in. Like I didn't start the LLC and do all that stuff. And selfishly, in the very beginning, I was like, I just want to be a business owner. I want to be a real estate investor. I want to provide a great life for my kids. I want to leave a financial legacy for my kids. And from talking from tens of thousands of investors over that 16-year career, and probably another, I don't know, 5-10 years more, investors, when their big why for what they're doing is not, I have never had an investor, tens of thousands of them that I've talked to, say, well, I want to go buy a Porsche, or I want to go buy that, second home, or I want to, I don't know, travel on luxury yachts around the world. What people say consistently is they want to supplement their retirement. They want to pay for college for their kids. They want to, I have some families that have disabled young children who will need care long into adulthood. And once those parents finish their fourth quarter, they want to make sure that they leave enough money behind, a residual income for their adult kids who are going to need the care. They want to replace their jobs. They want to follow the job optional program. And so these are just they just want to take care of their family, or altruistically, they want to give back to their community in some, form or fashion. So I have found that my why has only gotten stronger, because it's not about, for me, it's about creating a legacy for my kids and giving them experiences that I wasn't able to have as a kid myself. And a lot of other people that I talk to, investors, it's the same. It's honestly the same. So it's just helping them get to where they want to go to leave a legacy. And this is what I imagine. I'm an Irish girl, and our Irish wakes, it's full of, drinking and revelry and laughing, right? That's just how it is. And I imagine the day that I finish my fourth quarter in life, that the people that the generations that I have affected positively will live on, kids that I will never even meet, grandkids that I will never meet.
Sure.
But because their parents or grandparents took action and built a real estate portfolio that feeds them a residual income for many, many years to come, that's a cool legacy to leave behind. That's my why.
That's cool. That's good.
Thank you.
Maureen, if you could go back and give your 20-year-old self advice, what would you tell her?
I would tell her that whatever doubt you have in your mind is just there as a speed bump. And it is not something, speed bumps you get over. You can Dukes of Hazzard of them, fly right over them, right? You could skirt around them. You could let them stop you. Man, it's sure fun. It is a great, beautiful, fun, cool life if you fly over that speed bump. Seriously. Don't let doubt stop you, because you can learn anything, you can do anything, and don't let self-doubt stop you. I've got a friend who, 45 years of age, hasn't really accomplished much in life, didn't have the best upbringing, has led a lot of his speed bumps, excuses, obstacles, comparisons, thinking he's smarter than others and he should have more. He's stuck. He's stuck in a place is he's letting that speed bump in front of him
Those
has
limiting
kept him
beliefs.
from progressing.
Yeah.
And don't. Just don't.
It's good. All right. What's a favorite book or inspirational quote? What's something that motivates you?
Ooh, so I read so many darn books that I'm like, what's such a hard one? Hard one. If I were to take like I see all your books behind you.
Yeah.
Literally, I want to get a bookshelf in my office to display all the books. I have so many books underneath all of these cabinets behind me, and there's, I don't know, 10 of them overflowing with books. I would say one of my favorite books is a book called Mindset
Oh yeah,
by
by
Dr. Carol Dweck.
Carol Dweck. Yep.
Carol Dweck. One of my favorite books. So if anyone's out there and they're like, scarcity mindset, abundance mindset, how do I make that switch? Dr. Carol Dweck, guys and girls.
It's back there somewhere, but I have
she's
it.
phenomenal. I know you're probably looking forward to it.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, yes. Marty, I love it. Such a good book. And then one of my favorite quotes, it's actually on my signature in my on my emails. I love Zig Ziglar. And one of the quotes that he said is that you can have everything in life that you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want.
That's so true. All about service.
Service. Yeah, you give more. And that's the other thing I've learned too. And I guess another little piece of advice I would share is give without expectation. The more that you give to others without expecting anything in return, the universe conspires and gives you more abundance than you would have ever thought possible.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't have the expectation of, I'm going to tit for tat, quid pro quo. If I give this to you, then I need to get this back. Just give. Yeah.
And that's what makes, I could talk to you about your partnership because you've been in a 16-year partnership, and that's a topic on its own, but a lot of it goes with that philosophy. Like if you or your partners had always kept track of how many phone calls or whatever, you guys would have played the comparison game and someone would have got upset because they outgave or whatever. So
yeah. And here's what's interesting on the last, I know we're wrapping up here, but here's what's interesting. I love this about my partners, Clayton and Lindsay. They really didn't know who I was, right? We didn't have a long history of knowing each other. I talked to Clayton several times on the phone, flew out to Birmingham, met Lindsay once, spent 3 days with them. And I knew that the way that they operated in their personal and professional life, they operated with such integrity that I didn't care what they were selling. They could have been selling tires, widgets, I don't care, whatever. I would have jumped in their foxhole to this day and that day then, because I just knew that they were really good people. And most partnerships don't last, right? And they didn't even know who I was. And they offered me partnership and ownership in the company that they had started a couple of years even before I arrived. And to be here where we are today, still solid relationship. Yeah. We recognize Clayton's skills, visionary, quantitative finance, thinking, forward-thinking business builder. Lindsay's the operations, implementation of systems, processes, hiring the right people, getting the wrong people off the bus. And then my skill set is really just the storyteller. And you find those kind of three things, because we're not competing with skills. I can't do what Lindsay does. I can't do what Clayton does. Yeah. They can't do what I do. But when there is a compounding effect when you put the three of us together with egos that are not trying to one up each other. Yeah. But it's more collaborative. I'm still to this day just astonished at that we made it past the 5 years. Here we are almost 2 decades later. And it's really just, my heart is just so full of freaking gratitude. That, when people are like, it's hard, lean into the hard,
Yeah.
do the right thing, build the airplane on the way, jump and build the airplane on the way down. These are the things that I've lived to take me from very, very humble beginnings to living in a whatever, maybe it was 1,000 square foot ranch house with my mom, dad, and two sisters, to a 5,000 square foot house on the top of the double peak overlooking the ocean. That doesn't happen because I stayed with the same mindset.
Yeah.
It happened because the mindset changed, and when things got hard, I used grit to get me through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope your listeners have that same, find some inspiration in that, and take the courage and take the step to do the thing that scares them, because it will pay them in dividends.
Yeah, that's powerful. All right, so I think I might know already. We'll see. Final message. This is your final recording. What do you want the world to know?
What do I want the world to know?
What do you want them to know about you?
If a blue collar, middle class Jersey Philly girl can find her way out of a scarce mindset, build a business, raise heart-centered, grateful kids, and model that to the world, that you can do anything. It's so cliche. You can do anything that you set your mind to. You just have to have a burning desire and passion to pursue the thing that lights you up.
Yeah.
That's going to shine light on the world and give your gifts to the world that they're waiting for. Don't wait. Just do it.
It's so good.
That was spontaneous. I was like, oh shit, I don't know what's coming out of my head.
No, it's good.
That came out.
Maureen, how do people find and follow and connect with you?
Thank you for that. Very simply, you can find me at SpartanInvest.com. That's where you can find us. Find me, my team, our products, our business model, anything you want to know. Reach out. All my contact information, phone number, email, all of that. SpartanInvest.com. Come check us out. We'd love to see if we can be of value to you. And if not, I've got resources that I can redirect you to anything that you're looking for, because I do say, I do have a philosophy that an educated investor is a more confident investor. And whether it's single family, land deals, commercial, whatever you're looking for, I've got 16 years of network that I can lead, guide, direct you to, introduce you to help you get to where you want to go.
It's good. Well, thank you.
Marty.
Yeah.
My pleasure, Marty. Thanks for having me.
I just wanted to thank you guys for listening to the end. In closing, I just wanted to add that if this message resonates with you, if it aligns with your values and something in it today triggered something, then you can also look me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We are really trying to help people live more intentional lives, to kill the complacency with which they have subscribed to. I know there's many ways in which I get sucked in all the time. So if this is beneficial, follow me there.